heavy, deep, and hollow bassline kicks and metal. Yeah. Southwest London. But the vibe is strictly Long Beach. Check it. Check it. Check it. Check it. Step in the room, fresh suit, tailored fine. Liam Rosie, losing class from day one, divine. Shaking every hand, greeting the press with a smile. Polite with the ink slinger, staying for a while. But wait, hold up, he's a red devil at heart. Taking the bridges wheel, man, that's a risky start. Nice to meet you, how you doing? It's a charm offensive. While the bridge is looking on, getting all defensive. Don't buy a house yet, don't even sign a lease. The contract's long, but the piece is gonna sleep. Yeah, keep kissing off so they don't bury you fast. 3 games in, let's see if that man is gonna last.
Losing class, but the clock is ticking slow. They'll roast you later, Liam, don't you know? From the big dogs down to the Brighton Lane, in the West London sun, but we're feeling the rain.
Tyrone talks footballers laughing in the back. Mr. Lingerlove's got the axe ready for the crack. Neddy's in the corner, hunting for the XG. Godfrey's Don Salad, too busy to even see. He's plucking straws, trying to find a reason. And that's who women's giving up on the whole season. Christians in the snow, freezing in the cold, while the Chelsea board is buying everything they sold. A 6-year deal, man, that's a comedy show. 12 months later, 40 million out the door you go. You're the new Brighton now, just a feeder on the coast. Polite to the journalists, they're the ones who roast.
Don't get comfortable with sunshine. The purchase won't go through before the pink slip arrives.
Mocking laughter.
Check the stats, check the vibe. The blue flag is flying, but the wind is changing.
So, hello guys, and welcome back to another live stream in our channel. And it's been quite a while. I have not been quite well. I've had a very strong flu, but I've managed to be here today. So I wanted to ask to do something today, and what we're doing today is actually looking at where is Chelsea heading, as we are doing a preview on Chelsea versus Everton. It's quite an interesting game because Chelsea will be traveling away to Everton, and we do understand that this is Everton's home stadium. It's a new stadium that they have. So if you're able to hear me, can you just comment in the comment section area below if you're able to hear me, and if there is any issue with the sound or any issue with the video, you can also notify me. So let's try and talk about Chelsea. The last time we saw Chelsea was a disappointment. It was a proper training session at Stamford Bridge. The game was over by the 14th minute, and it was all PSG toying around with Chelsea, showcasing very glaring issues. Questions started to arise on the project that is called Chelsea. Also, questions started to arise on whatever is deemed to be Rossinia's managerial capability. And when you look at it, there are a lot of questions, especially being raised on Rossinia's capability as a manager, because it came out that in a two-leg face-off with PSG, Chelsea got their pants pulled down. And that is something that I have not seen happen to Chelsea in the Champions League. It was actually the first time. And that just shows ineptness that comes to some extent from the manager and also to some extent to the board. But Generally, I don't try. I wouldn't try to blame Liam Rossini. I've always said this, because if there is a serious management at Chelsea Football Club, Rossini should not even be the manager. If there is a serious management at Stamford Bridge, Rossini should not be the manager. But we are finding ourselves in a situation where the management is there. The management has its own model, as Igbali explained in the week. Their model is to get the best young talent, use Chelsea in the Premier League experience for development, then sell them for profit. And he wanted to do it like Brighton, and he even said that they want to make Chelsea Brighton. That is what they want. And since Chelsea was available, they saw it as a viable venture for investment. Now, Chelsea Football Club to us has been a club that we've supported. We've seen Chelsea win trophies. We have seen Chelsea lift the biggest honors. We've seen Chelsea being dominant. We have seen Chelsea celebrate glories, Champions League, Premier League titles, FA Cups, Europa League Cups. And yeah, if you're watching us, I'd really appreciate if you liked the video. And if you leave a comment, remember, interaction is what generally shares this video to many people. Yeah, thank you, Rosaline, for your feedback there. I'm doing well, but yeah, I'm just recovering. I had a very strong flu. It's been raining over here, so whenever it rains, you always find that if you're out and it's raining and you get rained on, these are some of the things that now you have to deal with. But I've really wanted to do a lot of tactical analysis video. I wanted to do the tactical analysis video for the Liverpool game, for the Manchester City game, for the Arsenal game. I wanted to do all this, but issues here and there, and a bit of illness has really constrained me. I know it's been long since we did a live stream. I've really been trying to do a live stream, but again, this is where it becomes a problem, especially when you're doing a live stream for the team that you support. So whenever you find that you've lost the game, the live stream is not quite intense because there isn't that level of expectations to it. So I heard that probably the lineup might have leaked again. You know, there's just a lot of chaos in this club. And then I've realized this thing with Chelsea recently, especially under this management. I've realized that there is a way in which Chelsea is actually somehow having a group of bloggers. I don't know if it is myself who has realized this or some of you have also realized this, especially on X and on YouTube. You find that there are a lot of bloggers for Chelsea. They are being probably facilitated by the hierarchy, because you find people, whenever we are talking about issues to do with Blueco, how the squad development is not there, how the project does not align with what the fans think, you're still seeing some big X accounts talking about, oh, Chelsea are going to sign this player, oh, Chelsea are going for this player, oh, Kwenda is coming back, he's going to come and start for a left wing. But you have spent 185 million on that left wing. You've signed Mudryk, you've signed Garnacho, you've signed Gittens, but you're already talking about Kwenda. Like, what is going on in this club? What kind of mess is this that is taking place in this club? I just want to go through the lineup and then we can proceed. I want us to go through the lineup, then we can proceed. Now, yeah, the lineup is here. So Gusto, Fofana, Hato, Kukurea, Caicedo, Lavia, Palma, Enzo, Neto, João Pedro. Estevao is back into that bench, I can see. And I can see Tosin, I can see Sar, I can see Esugo, I can see Andre Santos. Let me just share it before I bring in Christian. Let me just share the screen. Here. So this is the lineup. This is generally the lineup that you're seeing from Chelsea. And what you notice is the changes. He's decided to go with Fofana and Hato, the same Fofana who was laughing. You know, there are a lot of, but how can you even blame these players? Because there is no respect in that dressing room. There is a way a manager commands respect. And this guy is just a nice guy. He's just there. He's a PE teacher. Anyway, let's hear from Christian. Christian, how are you?
Am I on?
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I am. I'm recovering. Let me say that.
I can hear you got a cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. They say in German, gute Besserung. Get well soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what were you? Sorry, I've just joined in a few minutes ago, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But I did catch the back end of some complaining or something. I have no idea what you were talking.
I was talking about the lineup that I'm seeing.
No. Before that.
Oh, before that, I was talking about the idea where the fans want the club to be and what the ownership wants the club to be are two different things.
No, but fans are deluded. I'm sorry, but I know you guys fans, we're not living in real life. I live in real life, but most of the Chelsea fans still think this is Roman Abramovich cooking the books, living in a different area, doing his I don't know, ducking and diving, and can buy players. FFP doesn't really. Those days are gone. That is not a reality. The reality is that this is a new. I don't know. A new.
But Christian, I know Iqbal is your friend. I know Iqbal is your friend, but okay. The issue here is we are not saying. What we are saying is that we are not saying that he should do what Roman did, but what we are saying is that they have spent 1.5 billion to 2 billion. But what are they buying? You see, there's the way the question is: what are they buying? Like, for example, let's just take one position, like the left wing position. Can you justify where 185 million has gone? Because Mudryk was signed for 90 million, Gittens was signed for 50 million, Garnacho was signed for 45 million. So can you justify where 185 million went?
Yeah, of course I can.
That is still an issue.
Very, very easy to justify that. That's the easy question. I thought you were going to ask me a tough question, but that's the easy question. So you said 100. I don't know how many million you said there. Now I can just
185.
135, which is peanuts.
85, 185.
For three players in this days, the market of today is peanuts. When you consider their age, it's a long-term investment. It may not reap dividends. You should know you're African. We're people of the soil. We plant seeds, and we don't. When we plant the seed, expect that by 2 days' time we'll be harvesting. No, that's not reality. Reality is that it takes time. You need the rain. You need the sun. And you've got to watch the plant grow, and then you reap the rewards. It's the same thing. They've invested long-term. All these academy, whatever unknowns, where they're found from Amazon forest, and I don't know where the hell they found some of these players. Yes, I agree. Some of them, it's a bit dodgy. It's just something for profit. But some of them is also a long-term investment. That okay, these guys will mature and grow, hopefully in a year or two, while other teams are having to spend big in the transfer market. We have already made solutions because we have had our players and grown them organically, so to say. That is how I see it.
Okay. Now let's look at this. This signing of young players started in 2023, so it's 3 years later. True, It's 3 years later.
Yeah.
We signed Disasi, we signed Benoit, we signed Tosi.
How old were they? Hang on. How old were those guys you mentioned? Those weren't young prospects. Those matured, old, not even old. You can't even say that.
Benoit is a young player. Let me just look for you. Benoit is a young player. Just share his age. But Yeshile is he was born in 2001. He's 24 years. He's very young. So
I thought you were 25. 24. Yeah. But he's a good player. He's a good player. He doesn't get opportunities. He's a good player. He's been injured and he's coming back and he's getting better. But the other guy, Tosin, I agree with you. Tosin, that is an accident waiting to happen. Yes, I agree there. But yeah, Shield, you have seen him. He's Champions League, remember, against Atalanta, whatever. He's a very, very good player. But he's need the right partner in defense. And that is our problem. Sorry?
The question that I ask, if he's a good player, why is Hato starting ahead of him today?
Because he's been injured. You don't know what goes on the training ground. You don't know if he's injured or he's pulled a hamstring or whatever. You don't really know what's going on. So it's unfair to say why is Hato. And Hato was a good player. He was a captain of Ajax Amsterdam. So he's already one of those young players who's not even reached his peak yet. So what, 20-something, 22, 3, whatever. So that is the one for the future, Hato. And remember how bad he was when he started with Chelsea. He was a disaster zone. But he seems to have improved. He's growing. And he's actually pretty good at left back. You know, he's impressed me at left back more than he has impressed me as centre back. So Cucurella, for all I care, if somebody comes in with a eye-watering, stupid offer, you can sell. If you're 100 million, whatever, you can sell. Because Cucurella is as good as he is attacking. He can also be. I've noticed. If you notice when teams attack Chelsea, do you ever notice they all seem to attack down the right-hand side? I don't know if you notice that trend. But most attacks go.
But that one has happened because of the change in structure. I think the change in structure that Chelsea have really had that has really made them open. Christian, you know somebody at the club.
No. But hang on. Go back to that one. All teams seem to target Cucurella. I've noticed this trend. When they're attacking, they seem to only attack on the right-hand side. You won't see them targeting Reece James or Gusto, that side there. It's always on the right-hand side because Cucurella pushes.
We have seen Gusto conceding a lot of goals from the far post.
Not recently. Gusto has improved in the last 10, 12 games. But before that, I was Gusto's biggest critic because every single goal Chelsea conceded, if you look, you'll find somehow Gusto was involved. He was not marking, was fast asleep, whatever, but he seems to have improved and also attacking. Now he seems to be, when attacking, he's becoming a threat. They no longer can afford to say, Gusto, don't bother chasing him down because he will do, his finished product is disastrous. And he saw him actually score a goal. I thought, what? Gusto scored? Am I dreaming? And so there is work in progress there as well. So yes, we Chelsea fans, we're used to everything must be instant coffee, instant satisfaction. We're not doing so well. Roman goes and buys 2-3 players for God knows how much money, and then instant success. That's what we be used to. We're spoiled.
No. Okay. To some extent, you have a point. But the question here is, it's not like we are not spending money. That is the issue here. We are spending money, but we are not spending money on.
No, they're not. I disagree with you. They're not spending money. In the beginning, when they first came, the first 1.5 years, yes, it's true. They spent money. But if you notice, they sell and they buy. They sell and they buy. So what they sell, they buy for. They're no longer spending.
Let's just take the recent transfer window. They signed Dilab for 35. They signed João Pedro for 50. They signed the combined signing of Garnacho and Gittens for around 95.
Look at those signings.
They spent close to 200 million, and other kids and a whole load, like 10 kids who they signed for 12 million, 6 million, 12 million, 4 million. So it was around 200 million they spent. Our issue is not that they do not spend. Our issue is that they are not spending to the core that improves the team. You're not going there. You're not going out there. You're getting a player like, for example, they were talking about McGuehi. McGuehi was there available and he was almost there for free. We did not see them enter into a bidding war with Liverpool.
Hang on. McGuehi.
They didn't do it.
No, but hang on. I have to disagree with you again there. So Mark Way, yes, you could have got him for 20 or 30 million, whatever. I don't know. Do you know what Mark Way's weekly wages are at Man City?
But what
are his wages? Is it 350?
Oh, it's not 350.
It's something that level, maybe even more.
No.
He is not cheap. That boy is not cheap.
I want to fact check. It's around 250.
It's more.
It's around 250, and it is the same wage that Reece James is getting. But
Yeah.
you see, the main thing is the main thing is if you want the top players, you'll have to pay for them. The thing here is that we are coming here, we are signing a bunch of kids. We are always being told this thing about a project. But even if it is a project, you need to know that okay, 2023, you sacked Tuchel, you hired Mr. The boys gave everything, had a disaster of a season, brought Frank Lampard to get destroyed,
Yeah.
brought Frank Lampard for the second time to have his reputation destroyed. 12th. Okay, 12th, no problem. You are selling Aspilicueta, you are selling Alonso, you are selling Jorginho, you are selling Kovacic, you are selling Golo Kante, you are selling Eduard Mendy. Okay, you're clearing the squad. Good. Now you come to 2023, 2024. No, 2024, 2025. 2020, yeah, 2024, 2025. No, 2023, 2024. So 2023, 2024, you bring in Pochettino. Pochettino, he has Conor Gallagher, he has Chalobah. Chalobah, I think, was on loan in that season. So Pochettino builds a team. This team manages to get 6th place. Towards the end, he actually comes up with a way of bringing Cucurella in midfield alongside Caicedo, and that tightens up Chelsea. So you realize that we go into a 7-match winning streak towards the end. Pochettino says that Conor Gallagher is a good player. He's one of the great players in this team. He works hard a lot. He's one player who I really need for the way I like to play. No, Conor Gallagher is poor profit, so let us sell him. So they sell Conor Gallagher, Pochettino walks away. They bring in Maresca. Maresca comes in, meets whatever he was asked, gets top 4, wins the Conference League, and surpasses his objectives for the season by winning the Club World Cup. That is what he did. That is what he did. But though some people expected him to come immediately and compete for the league, because that is the same season when he said that we are not ready to compete for the league. But he later changed and then he did it. Now this season, Maresca starts the season again. This time he loses his key centre back, Colwell. He asks the board to get a centre back. The board tell him, no, you deal with Tosin, you deal with Disasi, you deal with Badiashile, you deal with Fofana, who was injured by then, deal with Chalobah. Then he says, this is going to affect the way I'm building up. But anyway, he keeps quiet, he does the job. Towards March, before we face Arsenal, he's just 3 points behind Arsenal. He actually wins Manager of the Month in March. Then December comes. December, Chelsea always fall off in December. The same thing happened. They sacked him. They brought in the intern. Once they brought in the intern, now we are here where we are. And now we are coming back and we are saying we don't have a centre-back, because even when you look at what Sarr defended in that PSG game, it was schoolboy defending. Like, you're always told when you're a defender, never allow the ball to bounce. How did he allow the ball to bounce?
But do you hear yourself speaking? You see, now we're getting to the crux of the problem. So you, I actually agree with you for once. Okay, you know me, I am always contrarian, but I agree. You see, the point is not the squad, it's not the players. The point is that the poor appointment of manager, choice of new manager replaced by Maresca. And there is the problem. It is unproven, green, guy with no experience, what have you, coming over to take a job in a big club. And by doing that, the board has basically made this team, I don't know, mid-table or whatever. I don't know. It made them bang average. They didn't get an elite club. They didn't get an elite coach for an elite club, and he's brought them the standards down. And it's not the players; it's the lack of experience from the manager, the lack of, I don't know, capabilities or tactical, whatever. Maresca was a good manager. Yes, as you said, he got the best out of players. He got them to overperform. And now with this new manager here, he's brought them down to another, maybe lower level. Maybe they're not quite performing, not living up to expectations. And plus, tactically horribly naive. You know, you're not going to go to Parc de France and play open attacking football as if you're playing some non-league team. Really, that is just pathetic. It is. You see, somebody wrote in the comments, Gui is on 300k a week. So, and what is that would destroy? Imagine Gui come to Chelsea, 300k a week. That would destroy the complete structure of the whole pay structure in that club, then everybody won 300K a week.
But there was also Brathwaite. Okay. Before even we head back to Guehi, you're explaining something. You're explaining something to do with
appointment of a
with
coach.
Rossini.
Yes.
In my opinion, I always say that I don't blame him.
No?
I don't blame him. He shouldn't be here in the first place.
Okay, we agree.
You see, it's like which okay, let's take the medical field. So you have surgeons. So let's say that you are let's say that this is Joe Hopkins, and probably this is the department of, let's say, neurology or radiology. Then you have specialists who have experienced that. I've worked in this hospital, I've worked in this hospital, I've worked in this hospital. Then you go and get a doctor apprentice, and then you go there and do a neurological surgery. See, he doesn't have the experience. Yeah, he might have done minor surgeries here and there, but you've taken him and you've thrown him to go and do a neurological surgery. In fact, you've given him a patient who's this close to leave us, because that's how tense that PSG versus Chelsea game was. So you see, you cannot blame the intern doctor or the apprentice doctor, because you're like, but he shouldn't even be here in the first place. You see, you can't blame. It's like going even and getting an intern accountant and then going and telling that intern, you go and be the CFO now. Go and plan the financial progress of this company the next 3 years. Can't do that. So that's why I'm looking at it and I'm like, should I blame you? No, I shouldn't blame you. It's just the same way.
Hang on. So why did he accept the job if he knew that this is going to be too much for me?
The question is, did he have a choice? Because remember, who is his employer, Strasbourg? Who is his employer? It's like your boss has told you, or today, you've been working in the procurement department. Today, report to sales.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Yeah, but okay, I didn't think of it that way. Okay, yes, you make a very good point there, by the way, and yes,
that's why they went for him. It's because they couldn't get a manager, because managers were like, this is a shit show, this is a car crash. I don't want to stay myself there. So like, okay, get this PE teacher. There's a PE teacher there doing training some boys there to try go get him. That's why when PSG are playing them, instead of coaching the players, he's like,
but if he had been smart, if they had been smart, so what they should have done, maybe, if they wanted to have him as a young coach, fair enough. I don't have any problems with that. That they should have had maybe an old retired coach as an assistant, so to guide him in difficult times. So like to advise him, hey, coach, back in the days, so because football is football. The other day, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
So maybe it needed that, not to have another guy who's his assistant coach, the guy who was there, who was that temporary coach who was there before him.
McFarlane. But even
So
McFarlane did well. McFarlane did well against Manchester City.
Yes. So
he did the basics. He didn't go to Etihad and tell Chelsea to go toe to toe with Manchester City. He was like, no, just go, be conserved, take your chances in transition. This guy is telling players to go to Parc des Princes and go toe to toe with PSG. Like,
yeah, but the problem is
with this guy.
The problem with Rossini, maybe he shot himself in the foot. So, like you yourself said in the group chat, the guy he's very outspoken. He speaks too much. He talks too much. So in the press conference, he's busy trying to shine. He's trying to come out as some super smart, intelligent guy. And maybe he felt forced to play in that way because he has a reputation to live up to. The reputation he's created, this fake reputation. So maybe and maybe he couldn't get himself to go to a more pragmatic, more defensive, not so open kind of play because he has talked himself into that situation. Is that making any sense?
Yeah, and to some extent, as a manager, please just don't talk. Like
There you go.
we
There
were
you go.
talking with you, and I was like, he's the English Premier League's Obama. He's always good at giving speeches. I don't know if there's a Nobel Prize being given in the Premier League for giving speeches.
You're terrible, my God. And you're
He's
evil.
always talking like, shut up. I even had another pundit just tell him, was it Rio or was it even Craig? But shut up. Just shut up. You've lost 8-2 to PSG. What are you coming to tell us? You should shut up and concentrate more on watching. Maresca used to watch over 200 games for the opponent before preparing for the game. You're wasting a lot of time doing interviews. Should be watching what Everton are going to do instead of just being here giving us interviews here and there.
But have you seen how, in football, life comes at you quick, comes at you fast. So this guy, when he came in, when he started the job, he was everybody's darling, apart from mine and maybe you. The media loved him. Oh, well-spoken, a proper English guy, blah, blah, blah. But you've seen how the tables have turned now. He's now become the meme. Every page I open Facebook, fucking Rosinha memes, guys doing parodies of him, and everybody just mocking him. I think, wow. Before, 2 months, 3 months ago, you were like the darling, the shining star. Now you are the joke of the town. It's thinking, wow, life comes at you really, really quick.
You see, one thing that also these people are very smart. They hired him when we had easy fixtures.
There you go. I said it. You guys
and myself, when people are like, oh, you can see, oh, the way this guy is doing, I was like, okay, let me just do a video for him and just say what he's trying to do. But I think I am the one who said that maybe this is a honeymoon period. I was like, okay, he's doing well at the moment. There's even a point where he got many. He did quite well, and then I was like, okay. Let's see what he can do against a big team. That was what I was saying. Let's see what he can do against a big team. Let's see what he can do which phrase do you use? Which phrase do you use? Is it when the rubber meets the road or something?
Oh, yes, I like that. That's a nice phrase. I like that phrase. Excellent phrase.
Yeah. When the rubber meets the road, what is he going to do? That's why some people are like, even when we were talking in the group, some people are like, oh, we should go to PSG, we should take them, we should boast them, we should beat them. And then what did I type? I said we would be better coming from there with a draw. Some people are like, this guy is very negative. Oh, it's when you understand that the Champions League is a different monster. It's a different monster.
Plus, don't forget PSG. They had the motivation more than Chelsea from the humiliation they suffered at the so-called Mickey Mouse World Club Championship. So don't forget that is a smell they wanted to wash off them very badly, and they humiliated Chelsea.
Yeah, they wanted to do that, and people are looking at their home their league fixture, and they're like, "Oh, PSG hasn't been playing well. Oh, PSG are not slapping everybody in there. They have not been playing well." But you see, the Champions League and the league are two different things. Look at Liverpool; they lost today. Yeah. But look at their Champions League form. That's the Champions League. You can be so poor, and to some extent, I got this message. I don't know who talked about it. He said that to some extent, when Pep Guardiola was at his peak in the Premier League, when he was winning trebles, when he was winning Premier League, when he was passing teams to death, when he was dominating and splitting teams open, the Premier League was performing very well when it came to the European competition. Not Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, even Manchester United. A lot of teams in the Premier League, even Spurs, got to a final. A lot of teams were performing well because he came in and he raised the bar of the league. So people had to learn football. You started to see even Premier League teams passing from the back, dominating the ball, looking to play the ball. But whatever Arteta has done to the league with this WWE in every corner. You're finding a huge defender like Saliba is holding the goalkeeper by the neck in a corner, and then you're seeing Gabriel is there punching somebody as it's every long throws. Like, I even saw Slot talking about it. Like, the Premier League is no longer enjoyable. It's just too many long balls. Whenever the ball is out, it's a long throw.
Yeah, but hang on. So if I've said this, I like to use this expression. All these Premier League players, they look like Olympic athletes. Okay, they all top-tuned, all physical specimens, or incredible fitness, and they have great skills. So they basically they sort of like so they equalize each other, so to say. There's nobody with a big advantage because they're all so extreme. So you've got to find an advantage. And Arteta has been smart. But playing Man City, Liverpool, whoever, they can outmatch us physically. We're on the same level. We don't have advantage there. Where can we find advantage? So he's gone into psychological warfare. So you go there and you bully them. You play good old school Sam Allardyce. You bully the other opponents. Whether you grab them or you wrest them to the ground, and if that don't work, go even back further. Go to Stoke City, long balls. You play long throw-ins. This old school, but just to find a small advantage from the other team. So I don't blame Arteta. I think he's been genius, smart.
But again, okay, to his team it's been great. But to the Premier League in the Champions League, it has been bad in Europe. Because remember, we used to play that game. But which teams were winning the Champions League? Barcelona, Real Madrid. Barcelona, Real Madrid. Bayern Munich. When Pep went to Bayern and left, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Barcelona, Real Madrid. Now it's coming where everybody's struggling at the Champions League because even Manchester City are out. Chelsea are out. Liverpool are playing PSG. They will be out. You don't know what Barcelona can do. They might even get Arsenal out.
Yeah, but this is we're talking about in the Premier League. This is two different competitions. Premier League. This is what I'm focusing on. The Premier League, you that physicality work there. But I agree, this physicality, whatever long balls, blah blah blah, route one is not going to work in the Champions League because the other teams have got far too much skill. So you're not going to beat them on that. Because sorry.
And also this PSR thing, it's making Premier League teams not sign quality players because now you have to rely on your first 11 in the Premier League. The Premier League is this WWE Championship. And then now, so you have this WWE Championship in the Premier League. And also now you also have whatever is happening in the Champions League where you're facing tough teams. So like look at Chelsea, look at even how Reece James got injured. Look at how Reece James got injured. Like, how did that happen? This guy decided to play him against Newcastle, which was pointless. You just play Andre Santos in that game. And I always don't think, because to some extent he's trying to take Maresca's blueprint to win a game. He said, Maresca played this lineup against PSG, so let me play it. Okay, you played it. It worked until, to some extent, where you forgot that Sanchez was part of that lineup. Then the Newcastle game, you still go ahead and field the same team that was passed to death by PSG at Parc des Princes. It's the same team you bring to play Newcastle at home. Just makes sense. Now we lost Reece James till the end of the season. Chalobah is out. But you see in that defense, I'm shocked that Chalobah is out because does he offer a lot? Or is just that he has been available? Because also Chalobah is not a great defender, is he? Is he a defender where you look at and you're like, Gabriel and Saliba, or Prime Van Dijk and Matip, or Laporte and Otamendi, or the John Stones and Ruben Dias. You're not looking at Chalobah in that level, or Thiago Silva and Rudiger. You're not looking at Chalobah in that level. You're just looking at Chalobah like a West Ham defender.
He's bang average. He's above average. He's not elite, but he's definitely above average. But he's always obviously good for one mistake. You'll say always one small critical error in a game, but otherwise I think he's pretty good. Apart from that, and
He's
but
good to
he's
be
not.
like
But he's not, as you say, elite. He's not on the level. Gui is not that good. Gui, I don't know why you keep on going good. Did you see him against how Real Madrid tore him a new backside with that smashing that they got here in 3-0 in just recently, a few days ago. Gui got exposed that he's not as good as you think he is. Just because he's English doesn't make him that good. And there's a reason why teams didn't pay a ridiculous amount of money to buy him on the transfer. They could see things there. But he's a good player. But in the Premier League level, yes, he's okay. But in the Champions League level, no way, no how. He got exposed very quickly. But he's not that guy. He's not even. He's just a little slightly better than Chalobah. But he's not an elite defender. Yes, he plays for England, but you can look good if you have a good midfield playing in front of you, or if you have a good side partner. They can always make a defender look good. But if you certainly don't have that elite midfield or your elite partner next to you, you get exposed. You get exposed very, very quickly. And that is, I don't know, but yeah, I agree that our Achilles heel is and always will be our central defense. We can't seem to find the right combination. We can't seem to find the right players. And in the style of play, Chelsea wants to play this attacking open. Basically, defenders have got to play man-to-man marking. You don't have the luxury of your
I think
defensive.
also the issue with Chelsea is that to some extent I'll be like, this Chalobah and Fofana guy gave Sanchez 9 clean sheets in the Premier League this season. So if you create a system that protects them from their weaknesses, they can't give you a clean sheet. Yes, as much as people might blame Maresca and say, to some extent, his games became stale and sideways and possession and slowing the game down. Why was he slowing the game down? You see, when he came in, remember Caicedo when he was under Pochettino? Remember how that midfield used to be opened up under Pochettino?
Yeah.
So Maresca came, brought in a structure. He said, when you're building, you build with 3 defenders, you build with 2 midfielders. Now, rather than committing many players to attack, just commit 5 players. At most, you can push Cucurella to join them so that you can form a front 6 at most. But you need to have this core of 4 or 5 players who are always there, that whenever you lose the ball, they are like a safety net. They win the ball up. Now, when Rossinia came, he was like, I don't want to invert. Okay, good, no problem. You don't want to invert. But what is your alternative? You're playing Chalobah and Fofana as 2 center-backs. Then you're playing Caicedo and Santos. Now, those 2, yes, they are 2 center-backs. But remember, you've pushed both full-backs up. You've told Gusto to move up. You've told Cucurella to move up. Who's covering these wide spaces? So when the opposition get the ball, Caicedo is drawn to press. If he fails to win that tackle, Santos, as much as he's good to pass that ball, his positioning is not great. So oppositions are doing this. They are positioning their striker to occupy those spaces that the fullbacks have left. And now whenever they get the ball, they just play the ball in behind those wide areas. And once the ball is played towards those wide areas, what happens with the likes of Chalobah and Fofana? Chalobah and Fofana do not run to protect the center. No. Because Rossinia has told them to play a man-marking system. So one center-back goes out to chase the player who has the ball. So what happens? You're left with 1 center-back in the middle and 2 opposition players making runs because, again, you instructed Cucurella to go forward. You instructed Gusto to go forward. So now the fullbacks are forward. The opposition attackers are behind them. So that is how PSG kept on scoring. Look at even that Newcastle first goal. What happened? I explained this in that video. You are playing. Rossinia wants the team to play man marking. But man marking, you do it when the people who are in front are applying pressure. If João Pedro is walking on the pitch and you are keeping a high line, this is just basic principles of coaching. If João Pedro and Palma are not pressing, why are you maintaining the man marking approach? Why are you playing with the high line? Like, these two players are not pressing. They have retreated into a mid block, but your defense line is still high. Like, why? Drop that line slightly deeper. Reduce the space between Sanchez and the defenders so that if the ball is played beyond the defenders, Sanchez can get it. If the ball is played,
what you're saying there is, if you look, sorry to interrupt you. If you look at what you're saying there is so 1,000% correct. Because so if you look at, let's say, Liverpool, they've got the same issue as Chelsea has, where the forwards are not coming and not tracking back to help out the midfield and to stop the counter. So they're exposed. Every time they attack, they're exposed like Chelsea is exposed. There's so many wide areas for the other opposition teams to run into, and we can't basically, with the man marking, there's confusion, plus maybe lack of stamina to be able to play to keep up that system there. So that system, and I like that somebody wrote in the comment, I'm not convinced he will be in charge for long. He will be sacked by December. This is Rossini.
Why should he go all the way to December 2027? Why?
Exactly. I think summer he'll be sacked. And
why should he go all the way to December? It is very clear. Just take him back to Strasbourg. Don't sack him.
But you'll get Gary O'Neill as manager.
That's why I'm saying I've seen the fans are protesting to some extent now. That's why I was telling you they need to come out and tell the fans this is our plan. Remember, you see, we are becoming what Arsenal was, and Arsenal fans got to a point where they were like, "Stan Kroenke, we know what you're doing." They were told every time, no, we're not going to sign players. We've built a stadium. No, we're not going to sign players. Oh, we cannot sign players because we've built a stadium. And Wenger was a good manager. He knew to manage the team and he knew to manage the club. So Wenger would be like, oh, Arsenal start on the high. Oh, it's about December. Arsenal are going to win the league. Then they get that dip in December and January. They are now out of the league title. They are now in the top 4 race. Then it comes to March. They start climbing steadily, and then they finish the season. And Arsenal has gotten top 4. Wenger was so good at that. He was so good at that. But he did it 5 times. And Arsenal fans realized it. And they were like, no. And even Arsenal fans kept on saying it. When we improve our attack, our defense is crap. When we improve our defense, our attack is crap. That is when they were saying, when they had Sanchez, they had Giroud, they had Ozil, they had Coquelin, and they were saying like, oh, Arsenal have a very good attack. When you see that Wenger football, the Wenger's football was so beautiful to watch. Even you are not an Arsenal fan, you're like, oh, let me see this. Because it was touch, you get a pass, third man run. Did you see how Wenger's football was so beautiful? Now, a lot of people here have never seen Arsene Wenger. Seen Wenger's football.
But back in those days, but hang on, back in those days, so the Premier League was definitely a two-tier division. So you had the Arsenals and whatever playing this tiki-taka, whatever so-called beautiful football. For me, tiki-taka was the most boring football of all time. Was tiki-taka. It was horrible to watch. But anyway, but the other teams were not on that level. They didn't realize that, hey, we may be smaller clubs, but we can also play in the same way. And if you look at the Premier League nowadays, apart from Burnley and maybe Wolves, all the other teams are you could get beaten on any given day by any of the team in the Premier League. There's no longer that automatic. Okay, I'm the top 6 team. I'm going to smash the lower team. No, that's those days are long gone. So you have to. Every single game is like a cup final. So I don't know. I don't even know how Chelsea got this amount of points. If you look at the table, Chelsea can actually finish above Man United. If they win today, they'll be only 2 points behind Man United, which is almost unthinkable. Hang on. It's almost unthinkable how crap Chelsea has been this season. If you look, the reality is that they're sitting very with the Liverpool's loss today and with Aston Villa fumbling the soap, or what do you want to say? What do you want to call it? Chelsea suddenly, they just, it seems to be the other teams want Chelsea to be in that top 3, 4, and it's all in their hands. It's not in anybody else's hands. It's in Chelsea's hands. But they're going to actually start winning some games.
Let me just say this, Christian. I even told Isaac one day when we were talking that don't always look like the other team is going to drop points. Chelsea can even drop points in this Everton game. In fact, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to win.
They're going to lose.
In my opinion, I don't think we are going to win this.
We agree. They're going to lose this game. I know they're going to lose this game.
They're going to lose this game. So when they lose this game, what difference does it make whether Liverpool lost?
Yeah, but Liverpool probably lose again next game, and Aston Villa will probably lose again.
But we'll also lose the next game because we are playing Manchester United at home. So we'll also lose the next game.
Yeah, because we always lose United. That's true.
Under Pochettino, since Pochettino, we started to beat Manchester United at the Bridge. Pochettino, we beat them. Maresca, we beat them at Stamford Bridge. And at the PE teacher, I think the trend of losing to Manchester United is coming back.
Yes, but this is Man United under new management. This is not the management of Man United of Amorim, what have you, and all that chaos there.
If you are playing Manchester United, if you're playing with Manchester United and Maresca is there on the touchline, you could be like, okay, we can take these guys at home. Even if look at the way we played Liverpool, and by that time they were champions, and we were like, we can take these guys. Do you have the confidence you used to have when you're playing big teams? Even when we played Arsenal, the one that Caicedo got a red card and it ended 1-1. Remember that game? If we didn't get a red card, we probably beat this Arsenal team at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, but it's the lack of discipline. But why is there a lack of discipline? Is it because they don't respect the culture?
Not lack of discipline. I think it's more of a management issue because even if we got those red cards, we still got draws. Meaning that, but here we are getting slapped 8-0 and we have 11 men on the pitch.
It's humiliating. It's so humiliating.
Hammered. We are being, look, there's even a clip that the Champions League shared. I felt crying watching it. Like, Chelsea don't even know how to press. PSG are just playing the ball through them. It's like they're doing a rondo in training. Pass, Vitinha, pass, Dembele drops, pass. Like, and then just one pass and they have split open that Chelsea defense and Kvaratskhelia is running towards goal. I think Sanchez saved that. It would have been even the goal of the week. Just pass these guys to death.
But it almost looks like there's disharmony in the team. It almost looks like, hey, that forward guy is not running back, chucking back. Why the hell should I run? It almost feels that almost like a.
But we always knew. But one thing we always knew is that, Christian, I even kept on telling you, I even used to get extremely mad. Pressing is not João Pedro's strength.
No.
It's never been his strength.
He's a center forward. But
I always kept on hammering him, like, why can't this guy run? But I realized that this guy is very good when you have the ball. So make sure that you have, majority of the time, you have the ball.
Yeah, but then you also have but then you have Cole Palmer, you have Garnacho, so you can't, and João Pedro, you can't have 3 players not tracking back and just expecting the rest of the team to stop the counter-attack. That's not football. Normally, you can allow yourself one passenger. Look at Mohamed Salah in Liverpool there. That's been his biggest problem there, where he's now being forced to do defensive work, unlike before, where he was almost like a free man, where he could score goals for fun and what have you. But now he's back doing donkey work. And our Chelsea problem, we have so many players not taking part in the pressing.
That's why I'm saying the squad building is not okay.
No, it's not the squad building; it's the tactics. And I disagree. The squad, there's nothing wrong with the squad.
I even if your opinion is that it is the tactics. My opinion, I'm saying the squad building is not okay because first of all, you need to have a vision. Like, for example, let's look at Klopp at Liverpool when he came. Klopp is a manager who wants to press high. Klopp is a manager who wants to win the ball as fast as possible when he loses it. Klopp is a manager who wants a team that runs like crazy. So he comes to Liverpool. He finds Emre Can. He finds who was this guy who was playing before Trent came? He went to Crystal Palace. He used to play for Liverpool in that.
What's his name? I forgot his name. Oh, I know.
So it was a black dude.
Yeah.
He finds there was that defense which never used to work. There was that clown in goal who gave out the ball in the Champions League final. There was that clown in between the sticks.
Poor guy.
What did he do? What did he do in that team?
Oh my
God! He brought in Mane from Southampton. He went ahead and brought Vanalda. He went ahead and brought Van Dijk. He went and took Gomez. He took Gomez from the academy. He promoted him into the first team. Because
Alisson. What about Alisson?
He got Alisson when we were supposed to get Alisson, but Marina was there playing around, and then now we had to overspend to buy a goalkeeper who has Tyrex arms.
Did Klopp buy Fabinho?
Yeah, he's the one who brought Fabinho.
Or was he there before?
No, he brought Fabinho. So he brought Fabinho. Wow. So he had Fabinho, Vanalda, and Henderson. That midfield, there is no number 10 because it's not a midfield to create. It's a midfield to work like that is a donkey midfield. Their work is to get the ball and pass the ball forward. When you look at that midfield, there is no creativity there.
There was just distraction. There was just distraction, hard work, and bullying the other teams.
Fabinho bullies you off the ball, gives the ball to Henderson. In fact, Henderson was the only one who had that pass. Vanalda gets the ball, carries the ball, lays the ball to Mane, tells Mane, go and do your thing. And because he brought that workhorse kind of midfield, he now freed Trent and Robertson. He told Trent and Robertson, you can now fly forward. Because of what? Because I have these three midfielders behind and these two center backs. So even before the ball goes to Van Dijk, you already have these three machines in midfield. It's like you have three N'Golo Kantes in. Okay, they are not N'Golo Kantes level, but you do get what I'm saying. You do get what I'm saying. You have these three workhorses in midfield. Why? Because that is how Klopp plays. Now, what happened in Klopp's last season when he was leaving? They brought in McAllister. Fabinho was already tired. Salah and Bobby Firmino were tired. Mane had gone. So what happened? Even if Klopp tries to play this aggressive football, it can't work. Because the structure, the squad building. Like Klopp, if they gave Klopp Mount, Klopp wanted Mount. At Chelsea, Mount was not working, but Klopp wanted him. And I knew Mount would succeed at Liverpool. Why? Because Mount knows how to play. If you gave Klopp Mount and Conor Gallagher in that midfield, those are players who can run.
If you look at what those players, you can say two of those players, actually three. So Fabinho, Henderson, and Bobby Firmino. All those guys, all those three, even by Nylon, all their legs were gone. So you could so obviously they were gone. And for that system they were playing, you need Olympic athletes. You need strong legs. The moment you lose one step, that system it just didn't work. And Klopp was vigorously trying to find replacements. He did bring in replacements, but Klopp mentally was tired from having to chase that.
He got 97 points and he didn't win the league.
Yeah,
he got 97 points in 2020 and he never in 2019, 2020.
You know how painful that is? That is painful.
To some extent, I always look at that and I'm like, Guardiola is not a good one.
He's evil. There's one way. There's one thing to finish number 2 and you finish like 10 points behind, but to finish number 2 and only finish 97 points and finish like was it 1 point or 2 points that they were lacking and lose the title. Wow, that is mentally devastating. And but I
I think the highest points that Chelsea we've ever had is 96, and we won the league. Let's just read some of the comments here. I'm convinced that he will be in charge for long. He will probably get sacked. Not December. He'll be sacked in the summer because they need a scapegoat. They need a scapegoat. The situation. You just watch this defeat today. This defeat will now be the catalyst for that protest in that Manchester United game. So they'll have to sacrifice one person. They themselves, they can't go. They will throw the manager under the bus. That's what they normally do. Even if we win, we will be 4 points behind United. Stop focusing on Manchester United. Focus on Chelsea. That's what I always say. Don't care about Manchester United. Focus on Chelsea.
We can't talk about Chelsea because they're so shit at the moment. It's hard to focus on them.
I agree on the squad building. If you guys give Carrick this Chelsea team, will he still deliver like he is in Manchester United? Okay, with Manchester United, with Carrick, all I think is that, you see, with one thing that is bringing success to Carrick at Manchester United is just he has just decided to play players in their natural position. Amorim was so fixed in this 3-4-3 thing, and I always kept on saying, Bruno Fernandes is not a double pivot player. Bruno Fernandes is an attacking midfield. It's like you're insisting on playing with a 3-4-3 and you're playing Palmer in the pivot. Like, what are you doing? You're playing a 3-4-3 and you're playing Palmer in the pivot. And then you're asking yourself why it's not working. So, Amorim was insisting on, and then he never had wing backs. To play a 3-4-3, you probably need wing backs like Victor Moses and Alonso. You need Trent and Robertson. You need Hakimi. Players like Hakimi are very good wing backs. You see, those are the kind of players that you need. Spinazzola, those are the players you need when you're playing wing backs. So if you don't have these flying fullbacks, there's no need of using those fullbacks. That's why even now, under this Rossinia guy, I'm like, he's attempting to have these fullbacks. I'm looking at Cucurella. Cucurella is very good when it comes to inverting into midfield. He's very good at that, but he's not very good going forward. Gusto is also not good at delivering crosses when he goes forward. Rhys James can do it, but again, when you give Rhys James the work of running up and down, you just know how his hamstrings are. You lose him in 2 games. So that's why Maresca used to tack him in that back line. He was like, Rhys James, stay there in behind and stay alongside the Chalobah and Fofana. Go and protect those. Go and protect those. Go and protect those guys. That's why Maresca was telling Rhys James to stay in that back three, because he knows, as a manager, you know this thing. So you need to understand the strength of your team. And that is why I always say the best manager is the manager who's able to adapt, the most flexible manager. You need to be flexible in football. Even Klopp, look at the Klopp, the squad that Liverpool created when Klopp was leaving. That is the squad that won Slot the title. Slot came in and he was like, I don't play this high pressing, gegen pressing thing. I will just arrange you in a way that you can pass the ball. And he realized that Van Dijk's legs were gone. Salah's legs were gone. Let's keep the ball more. No need of this high tempo, high running.
Robertson's legs were gone.
Yeah, Robertson's legs.
Who else was in the midfield? Who else in the midfield they got rid of? Quite a few players. But he was clever because he didn't change too much from the Klopp era. But then when this season here, when he decided it's going to be my team, my football, and everything, look at them now. They're useless. He spent I don't know how much for all these players. Did you see a picture of the guy from Newcastle they bought? What's the one that broke his leg? It's a player, a tall one from Newcastle, the one they paid so much money for.
Isak.
Did you see a picture of him recently with a big stomach? It's like, what?
For my opinion, in my opinion, I believed that they shouldn't have gone for him.
Nope.
At that point, I thought that Ekitike was just okay. Ekitike had done well. They should have used that money strengthening other places on the pitch, like getting a defensive midfielder.
As a central defender to replace Van Dijk or Konate.
Yeah. They should actually have gone hard on a central defender. That is
because
what
they have that Japanese guy he was otherwise a midfield player. I see him quite often playing as a central defender, but he's not a central defender. But this is the problem when you know with the squad depth. Even for Chelsea, we look at the squad depth is not very good, and if you're playing these tournament, all these Premier League games or Champions League games, your squad, you have to use your squad, and that's when you get exposed. At least Rosinha has given one or two of these youngsters a chance in the play. I mean, I'm happy for one thing. Rosinha has done well. He has grown Santos. Andrew Santos has got a chance. Who never got a chance under Maresca.
But yeah, he has done well with Santos and Hato. But again,
Yes.
which games is he starting then? When you need him to start Santos, when you need him to start Santos,
even Enzo has actually done well.
Enzo
he's done well.
Enzo was improved by Maresca.
But if we look at the players who have gone down under Rosinha, we can start with Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer maybe was already down.
Caicedo is the one who has gone down because that system is leaving him by himself in that midfield.
Yes. And
that is one player who has gone down is Caicedo. Another thing, other players have gone down is both centre backs, Fofana and Chalobah. Yes, they are okay centre backs. They are not like we have a centre back now. We have Thiago Silva, no, but they are okay. They are okay. They are a top 4 centre back. They can give you top 4. They're not going to win you the league or challenge for you the league. No. But they can give you top 4. Now, what happened is that by him pushing both fullbacks high, they have nobody to help them. You see, when one of them especially Fofana, who's super aggressive, when he is dragged out wide, he needs to have 2 other players behind him, so that when he loses that duel, these 2 players are there to protect him. But if only it's one player, it's a problem.
What time's the kickoff? Here in 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
It's in 5 minutes. So what do you think? What do you think? What's your conclusion?
For the game today?
Yeah.
Is Everton's going to win. Probably 2-1 or 2-0. I have no hope for it. 3-1, you think?
3-1 Everton.
They're not going to score 3. They'll score rather 2 or 1. 2-1 or 2-0. I think 3 is Everton doesn't score that many goals. And
they will score.
But Chelsea will be bullied. The physicality of Everton is going to. You will see Chelsea will be exposed. They don't like playing physical teams. Teams which go with the body. Chelsea doesn't like that. So that there is going to be exposure. And maybe it'll open up some eyes for the board or somebody. We need some bit of 1 or 2 tough players to beefing up the squad to physicality wise. So but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna watch this going. So
yeah. Let's go and watch. Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'll see you at halftime chat in the group.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be like
it'll be therapy session as usual.
No, we've already had ours before.
Look who's playing for Everton. This guy, who was the one we sold to Everton, the midfield player. What's his name? He was so good in the Conference League. What's the guy's name?
Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall. He's so good.
I think he has a goal today.
He is so good, that player, man. I don't know why they decided.
And I don't know why they sold him.
Nope. He's an excellent player. They should have just loaned him. But nope, they sold him for profit.
They should have retained him.
Yes, I agree. But okay, what's happened? It's done. It's gone. Anyway, we'll see you at halftime. Cheers.
Cheers.